Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back with another 10 metal bands you haven't heard but should from within quarantine. It's, of course, going to be spent buying and listening to records. So, yeah, here's some cool black and death metal with some black thrash in there for good mix as well. First up is Wynter Myst. This is another project, yes, another, from Steve, who runs Blackwood Productions, from Old Corpse Road, Arcane North. His project Peasant was featured in one of these videos, so he's definitely a prolific guy in the UK scene, good dude. This is Wynter Myst. It's very kind of Finnish black metal, sounding like Horner, Sargeist, Behegson, all those kinds of good bands. Yeah, it definitely has that dark, cold Finnish sound. They're quite piercing guitars, very treble heavy. But yeah, it's really cool if you like Finnish black metal, but from the UK, I should mention. This is on Cavernous Records. Wynter Myst is definitely worth checking out. I think this is some of his finer work, along with the Peasant one, which is a bit more punky, kind of Impaled Nazarene kind of vibe. But yeah, check out Wynter Myst. Next up, we have some awesome material from Ulcerate, who put out their new album on Memento Mori called Stare Into Death and Be Still. It's a really weird album. It's got some like old school death metal, some more technical death metal, more in the vein of like a Demolic or Portal than like, you know, Revocation or whatever. It's got some blackened stuff, it's got some doomy stuff. I guess the only band I can really compare this to off the top of my head would be Abyssal. It's got that really just fucked up, evil, really malignant sound, and it's just nuts. It's nearly an hour long, and every minute of it there's just some crazy stuff going on. It's really ferocious, really good, and definitely some groundbreaking death metal. So if you like your weirder kind of, definitely kind of black and doom tinged death metal on the much darker side of things like Abyssal, check out Ulcerate with their new album on Memento Mori. It's killer. This is mostly CDs other than 2 tapes. All the new vinyl I've had recently has either been bands that have already been in these videos or stuff that's like too big, like the new Hellhammer repress. Obviously, I think anyone watching this video is going to know Hellhammer. Anyway, next up is Malthusian from Ireland. They play really cool, again, like Black Death Doom mix. This is their EP, Below the Hengiform. I knew I had a weird word in there. On Invictus, it's quite hard to see, sorry about the glare, but yeah, Invictus is a killer label, also Irish. If you like, again, weird, dark, Black Death Doom stuff, you know, like Grave Miasma, Dead Congregation, that kind of really sinister death metal, then check out Malthusian, because they're a band that you don't actually seem to see on many. I don't see them getting posted around as much as they should, and I think they really deserve it. These guys are killer. Hoping to see them with the likes of Hellhammer at UK Death Fest, which is now in 2021. Just got my ticket. Random side note, but yeah, check out Malthusian, and if you live in or near London, go and check them out next year at UK Death Fest. Next up, some pure black metal from Iceland. This is Nyrst, or Nyrst. It's Nyrst, so I'm going with Nyrst. This is their debut album, Ulcerate, on Dark Essence Records. Now, I guess Icelandic black metal is more associated with dissonance, with like bands such as Fatirauri, Mistaming, Sinmara, Almerkvi, Andevald, yada 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 yada, Hrai. But yeah, Nyrst, who I'm really hoping they have some physical stuff. Another side note. Nyrst, very precise sounding. It's more in the vein of like Swedish black metal. Very melodic, very tight musically, but it still has plenty of that weird experimental flair that, you know, goes hand in hand with being an Icelandic black metal band. And I think this is one that's, it's early days, but potentially a bit overlooked. I've not seen necessarily much hype about it, which often is probably a better thing than if there's too much, because people are somewhat fickle and then forget the bands. But these guys, I think, will stand the test of time. It's a really cool record. Or CD in this case. I always say record, you know what I mean. But yeah, definitely check this out if you like more melodic and technically proficient black metal. And on the far less melodic side of things, this is the new Warlust album on Dying Victims. If you like your black thrash, like, you know, Destroy 666, Nocturnal Graves, Aura Noir, all that good stuff, Warlust are just ferocious, thrashy, speedy black metal. It's fast, catchy riffs, aggressive, monstrously kind of fast and aggressive, as I've said about 3 times already, but you'll see what I mean and why I did that. It's just a ferocious album. It's really good. I'm pretty sure they're Australian, but I'm going to feel really stupid if they're not, so don't quote me on that. But if they are not, then they sound like a lot of those Aussie bands, and if they are, then that's why. Warlust, great black thrash, definitely some of the better black thrash that's come out this year. That's getting really fucking hard to say, but check them out on Dying Victims. Great label for that kind of black and thrash, speedy, all those kinds of things, you know, good stuff. Now, you would think there's a theme with this video, which I'm starting to think there is, but it's kind of unintentional. We have more murky black and death metal, this time from Gutter Instinct with their last album that I reviewed when it came out back in 2018, Heirs of Sisyphus, on Pulverized Records from Indonesia. Great label again. Gutter Instinct, it's going to be really hard not to repeat myself, but play that kind of murky, evil, macabre sounding death metal. It's not going for brutality, it's not going for down-tuned stuff, it's not going for really crusty guitars, it's just going for bleak, evil, really creepy riffs. And again, if you like stuff like Grave Miasma, Dead Congregation, and of course the bands I mentioned when I was talking about Ulcerate and Malthusian, then you'll probably like Gutter Instinct too. And on a side note, it does have a really good cover artwork. Now for some more kind of straightforward death metal. For fans of Tomb Mold, Fetid, all those kinds of like really disgusting cavernous bands, we have Undeath. This is the compilation of Decomposition. I nearly forgot that then. Caligari Records, great underground death metal label, of course. Now, Undeath play a really cool, old school, kind of very incantation-y kind of death metal that's just really easy to love. I always dig that kind of stuff. This is the compilation of their 2019, I want to say, demo, and their Sentient Autolysis demo, which is how I discovered them when reviewing that. And then on the B-side, you have this kind of radio appearance with some live tracks, some interviewing going on. It's really old school, really works. And yeah, some really cool artwork that kind of looks like how it sounds, so really kind of dingy and cavernous and fucked up and cool. Definitely check out Undeath. Those guys hit hard and fast. Now, some much slower death metal. Then again, Undeath do have some really nice doomy riffs, so don't take that as testament to their sound. But Funeralopolis, fuck that. Why do I have to say these words? Memento Mori Records, their new album of deceit and utter madness. Now, if you like traditional death doom, you know, very much in the style of the Finnish bands and some early bands such as Decomposed from the UK, if you like that kind of just really monstrously built up and slow burning death metal, Funeralopolis is definitely in your street. It's brutal, it's still aggressive, it's not like just melodic slow stuff, but there is a lot of that to give it a real textured appeal. Another really cool album cover. I don't think there's a bad album cover in this video actually, but yeah, Funeralopolis absolutely slays. I think everyone who's into old school death and death doom will adore this album, and it's definitely a contender for one of the better death doom releases of this year, with bands like Solothus, of course, who were in a previous video. I can't remember which one because every day is the same now, thanks quarantine. Stay safe. But yeah, Funeralopolis, absolutely killer death doom. Check them out. And Memento Mori. Now, some more death doom. Ghastly from Finland. This is their album, Death Valor. I'm really bad at album titles today. Brilliant. On a $20 spin. This came out in 2017 or 18. And much like with the Gutter Instinct one, it was really cool. I didn't actually review this. I think I started reviewing for $20 spin slightly after. But with the Gutter Instinct one, I really wanted it. I completely forgot as things happen. Found it recently thanks to it being on my want list and went, oh shit, I'll get that. Ghastly, much the same. I've been meaning to pick this up. It's just great Finnish death doom. Exactly what you want from, you know, bands like Hooded Menace, Solothus again, of course. And the earlier stuff like Sentenced, their early stuff, Funebre, Convulse, that kind of stuff anyway. Decomposed again. Really repeating bands in this video. It's just great Finnish death doom. If you're into Finnish death doom, then listen to Ghastly if you haven't already. I know I'm kind of late to the party on talking about these guys, but it's my video and I don't care. Ghastly are cool, go listen to them. And now the last slab of death metal is one from Maggot Stomp Records. I'm talking about Malignant Alter and another long title, Retribution of Jealous Gods. Now I've got 2 releases from Maggot Stomp. If you follow me on Instagram, you're going to know what the other is and know that they're in the next video. But if you don't, then I'm not going to say it because I'm not doing all the hard work here. Malignant Alter is just really swampy, filthy, hard-hitting death metal, you know, like Undergang, all those kinds of bands. If you like that kind of stuff, Maggot Stomp have a whole bunch of it, and this is, in my opinion, some of the better stuff, alongside, of course, Sanguisugabog, Encoffinized, Gutless, yada yada yada. Great label, great death metal. Maggot Stomp, great. Check out this demo, because I really like it. And it's a nice way to close out this video with something a bit less odd, I guess, because there's been a lot of weird Black and Death stuff, and this is just straightforward good death metal. Nothing you haven't heard, maybe, but who cares, it's good. So, with all of that done, and the next video, I have it almost enough. I have like 8 out of 10 things for it. But of course, post is slow. Thank you, quarantine. Stay safe. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you found some cool stuff from it. I really enjoy all these releases, so I'm sure some of you guys will enjoy many of them. Make sure, if you enjoyed it, to leave a like and subscribe if you are so inclined. But far more importantly, go and support the bands and labels, because me sitting here talking doesn't cost me anything or do anything. These guys, you know, merch sales, downloads, even sharing it on Facebook or whatever the hell you do, be it from the label or band's perspective, as someone who does music with a billion bands and runs a label, it really helps. So thanks to anyone actually who's bought stuff from my bands, you know, Sickly Angler, Hexavoid, Garden of Eyes, Blasphemous Degradation, Ritual Flail, all have new releases or stuff going on, or things about to be released that I've just kind of spoiled, so figure it out. Yeah, it all makes a massive difference, and you know, if you go and buy a band CD, that may well be the thing that means that they can afford to press more, you know, get themselves out there, get some merch done, keep the ball rolling. And the same with labels, of course. If you're ordering from them, you know, they're going to be able to afford to press more records for new upcoming bands. I really feel condescending saying this. That's not how I meant it to come across. But, you know, keep the ball rolling. I know a lot of you maniacs are keeping stuff alive. And if it wasn't for you, we'd all be fucked. So thank you. And until next time, stay metal.